Hello everyone, it's Tania Gabrielle here, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes, where we look at the big events in the stars and numbers. And today we are going to check into the very, very powerful Scorpio full moon. Now, Scorpio is, of course, the sign of empowerment and endings and sexuality and money that is owed to you and psychic awareness, intuitive awakening. So it is a water sign. It really goes into the heart of the matter, the truth of the matter. And so when this full moon comes around once a year, we always feel very deep, profound connections to whatever it is we need to look at. And this year, the transits that the full moon makes are very intense. So it happens on April 27th Universal Time at 4:31 a.m. That's in London. And April 26th in the Americas, 11:31 p.m. Eastern Time and 8:31 p.m. Pacific Time. And of course, you don't need to be a Scorpio to benefit from this forecast because you have Scorpio somewhere in your birth chart. So this full moon is happening in 2 of your houses and of course contacting your planets and angles as well. So Scorpio purges. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of empowerment and bringing things to the surface, revealing secrets, revealing the unconscious. So during any Scorpio intensification, we dive into very deep matters, profound matters, emotional matters. It is a water sign. And things get just very passionate. So in this case, we are focusing our attention on Saturn because there is a quadruple, that's 4 planets, creating a T-square with Saturn. And what does that mean? Saturn is right in the middle of the sun and moon. Saturn is at 12 degrees in Aquarius, and the moon is at 7 degrees Scorpio opposite the sun at 7 degrees in Taurus. And so they create a T-square to Saturn, 90-degree angles. But since the sun is conjunct, that means merged with Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, where Saturn is, and Venus and Mercury's at 16 degrees in Taurus, Venus at 15 degrees in Taurus, and Uranus at 10 degrees in Taurus. We have 4 planets. Of course, the sun isn't a planet, but the star and 3 planets, 4 light bodies, forming a square to Saturn on one side, and then on the other side, the moon forms the other square, which creates the T-square. Now, T-squares are very, very intense. They really ask you to commit to acting on what it is that comes to the surface. Scorpio, it's going to come to the surface. So this is a good thing because obviously in order to move forward, self-growth depends on you seeing what needs to be attended to and making a conscious choice to attend to what shows up. So if you are in alignment to going with the flow and not being concerned about what might happen or concerned about something that shows up that feels like a challenge, you're going to be fine. Because Saturn governs, if anything, what work you're doing, what your destiny is, right? Saturn rules Capricorn, the 10th house in astrology, which it describes what it is you're here to contribute. So there's going to be some kind of internal emotional revolution that ignites your enthusiasm. With Venus and Mercury and Uranus all merged with the sun, there is just incredible creativity, the ability to communicate, and Uranus, as I was saying before, rules Aquarius, which is the sign where Saturn is. So there's going to be a huge sense of going against what feels restricting in your life. So if there is a sense of you're being held back and you can't have a free flow of energy, forward momentum, Uranus being so connected to this T-square is going to break things open for you. There's going to be breakthroughs. And since Venus and Mercury are also part of this picture with the sun, there's going to be a lot of light that's going to shine on who you are as a creative, communicative messenger of something important. You may receive a message, you may share a message, you may receive a message in symbolic form, but it's going to be breakthrough, and it will probably concern your destiny. And we're going to go into that in a bit, what that actually means. Now, Pluto stations retrograde on April 27th at 26 degrees, and this is literally right during the full moon. Pluto rules this full moon. Pluto rules Scorpio. So this is another indication that we are going to be going within, totally engaged, heart-centered, passionately with life, looking at the truth. Pluto brings things to the surface, and when it's in retrograde, it sets you free to be totally present with the truth that shows up. There's going to be a sense of energy in motion due to the full moon itself, and then emotional commitment as well. So, Scorpio is a fixed sign, it is a water sign, and it is very connected to really listening so closely because it governs life, death, transformation. So it governs all the unconscious aspects of life. It's very sensitive, feels everything, and operates on instinct. And it eliminates everything that has gotten old and stale. So Scorpio intensifies energy, it transforms energy, it uncovers the truth, it observes very closely everything and everyone, and it intuits how to move forward moment to moment. Scorpio can uncover power struggles, control issues that arise when you're not acting from a place of compassion and service. And Scorpio also embodies change and restoration. So under Scorpio's influence, it's because you're bringing things to the surface, when you are doing it with compassion, it's easier to forgive and let go and release the life, death, transformation, the rebirth. So at 7 degrees, with this full moon at 7 degrees, 7 is the number of bridging heaven and earth. See if I'm drawing this correctly from your angle. So you have all the goods, you have all the tools to navigate whatever is going to show up during this very intense full moon. You have the courage to address challenges because of the Scorpio aspect, and you will be able to move into opportunities for growth as well. Now, in the Americas, the full moon happens on the 26th, and that means that there's going to be a double 8, and 8 is the number of leadership, which is very similar to Scorpio and Pluto, which also govern leadership. So there's a sense of great opportunities to step into your destiny, and there's going to be a sense of you being the leader, being persistent, being patient, being very committed, and discovering the keys to success because all those leadership values are being activated in your life. So with the moon in Scorpio opposite all those planets in Taurus, there's some oppositions going on as well. And when the moon is opposite Mercury, there is a sense of getting very quickly engaged with any project that requires deep thinking and analysis. So not putting it aside, getting things in order in your home and your environment. This is a great transit for cleaning and cleansing and feng shui. With Venus, you want to focus on those things that really bring meaning and beauty. Focus on art, focus on music, beautiful scents, sensuality as well, affection. And also because of the 7 degrees, be out in nature. Focus on the beauty of nature. 7 governs the connection with nature. The moon opposite Uranus creates a lot of excitement, deep emotional excitement. So you want to guard against being impulsive, and basically you're yearning for total liberation. So you want to look for those activities that allow you to be creatively stimulated in a new way, that excite you, right? There's a sense of listening and feeling that inner serenity, then moving forward very quickly, because these brilliant insights are going to ask you to get into a flow that is, it shakes up your core values, basically. It's open, it's flexible. Whatever comes your way, you're going to move towards it without any adherence to any prior beliefs, right? This is about transformation, and the result of which is abundance, right? Now, on the opposite side, we have Sun conjunct Uranus, right? This is very powerful when the Sun is merged with the planet, because Uranus is in Taurus, that is all about shifting. So a powerful shift energy. It represents everything that is connected to unpredictability and volatility and electricity, and it allows you to extricate yourself from those old patterns that Scorpio also wants you to extricate from. So the point is to stay very calm through meditation, through whatever you do, to remain in a secure, calm, grounding place, right? Because you want to keep that inner climate in a calm place while these changes come flooding in. So Uranus is that lightning bolt of change, and like I said, plays a big role because the square to Saturn, the T-square to Saturn, is in Uranus's sign of Aquarius. So guard against being reactive, aggressive, acting in haste. And then we come to the big enchilada moment, Moon and Sun square Saturn. So the sense of duty calls you. Saturn is about committing to your responsibilities. It's wonderful for working in seclusion, working on a project. It is wonderful for emotional commitment to a relationship, to a task, to a change, a decision that you made. You want to take extra time to rest during this full moon because you may feel a little bit more depleted. And you want to be very, very clear and honest and forthright about your feelings with others. Take those feelings very seriously. Take responsibility for how you are feeling. You may need to create some distance and set boundaries. That's what Saturn is so good at. And the light, when the Sun square Saturn, is your light and well-being squaring responsibilities and boundaries. It squares attention. So your energy may feel more restricted, and not in a negative way, but it's basically helping you set priorities so you don't get distracted and do all this multitasking. And Saturn says, no, not time to multitask. It's time to commit to this one thing that you need to focus on, whatever that is in that moment. So you want to not go into procrastination, certainly not worry. Just work as diligently as you can on whatever that issue is. And then your self-confidence will absolutely soar because it's directly measured in relation to your willingness to get down and get things accomplished. So very, very powerful. Now there's a wonderful, wonderful trine, a grand trine actually, between the Moon and Mars and Jupiter, which is helping, as always, to dissipate this tension, this T-square tension. The universe always provides an outlet, right? This is a beautiful, harmonious, creative outlet. The Moon trine Mars trine Jupiter is such a gorgeous grand trine. It gives you the desire to just, through Mars, move forward. Jupiter, know that things will work out well. You see the horizon, you're optimistic, you feel enthusiastic and fired up. You just absolutely understand that no matter what happens, there's going to be success at the end. And your yearning for independence due to the full moon is really helpful here, because what you're going to focus on is going to bring you joy, and it may be brand new. You want to act on those things. You want to see the beautiful results unfold, including financial flow on the other side, right? So take that initiative, and you'll see how down the line you're going to benefit from all the wonderful opportunities that this transit, this grand trine, brings. And this is an amazing situation, because the sun is also sextile to Mars. And let's see here. Yes, the sun is sextile to Mars, so you feel very energized. You know, there's a sense of depletion with Saturn, and then there's a sense of being energized and stimulated to act and having joy to guide you. Just guard against anything that is impulsive, right? You just always want to breathe deeply. There's a lot of sort of impatient energy as well with Uranus and Mars. So you want to trust your intuition and move forward when your intuition says, okay, this is the time, and you're going to create tremendous momentum here. Now, Scorpio is very powerful because of its connection, its deep search to the truth. And Scorpio doesn't beat around the bush. It serves up things without small talk or pleasantries, and there's a lightness as the truth sets you free, but you have to pull yourself out of the fear of hearing the truth to begin with, right? So Scorpio symbolizes those hidden greater forces that point you to your destiny. And we talked about how so connected to your destiny this full moon is because of that quadruple square to Saturn. So everyone has a destiny. Every soul before coming into life on Earth resolves to accomplish certain goals and certain lessons. And so there's a curriculum that's involved regarding certain points in your life that you reach that define and help you, guide you towards accomplishing that goal of fulfilling your destiny. The specifics of how this curriculum will unfold and play out is not actually set before birth. Those specifics depend on some degree on your free will, including the free will of others in your life that impact you. But Scorpio governs the unseen, and those are those spiritual forces whose role is to create circumstances that are conducive to your soul growth. And those spiritual forces shape your destiny's curriculum by bringing people, opportunities, experiences, events, ideas into your life, by inspiring you, by motivating you. And these spiritual forces can be described as your guides. That doesn't mean that they're entities that have a personality or personal will. They don't have an agenda. They're there to serve you on the behalf of the divine for everyone highest good, right? So they are forces for good in every person's life, and you can call them your guardian angels. There are many ways for these spiritual forces. So the pull of your destiny is far more compelling than the will of your egoic mind, your conditioned self. So surrendering to that divine energy, which is what Scorpio helps us to do, aligns you with every breath to source, to the divine on a deep level. And you'll be supremely happy as a result when that flow is accepted in your life and things are not resisted, right? So this full moon's really going to help to align you in a way that you accept what comes into your life, because you trust that it is aligned to your destiny. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. You wouldn't be attracting it. And within your destiny's curriculum, there are certain arrival moments, which are actual experiences that you chose before birth. And these arrival moments might be meeting somebody who's very important. It could be a health experience you go through, a spiritual experience, a near-death experience, the loss or birth of a loved one, a financial gift, or other life-changing event. And arriving at such a moment is unavoidable, and it's meant to be transformative. And Scorpio teaches us to surrender to those moments and in doing so, empower ourselves by taking advantage of them, right? And so we don't define these moments as good or bad. We just accept them. We receive them. We are grateful for them. Now, your ego will feel dejected by the more challenging experiences, and that will make it harder to make positive use of them. So in any moment, your choices are either aligned with the ego or with the divine. Either way, you're learning something. You're learning something that helps you raise your vibration. And this is the case whether you're fulfilling your destiny or not. So if you're not learning what your soul is intending, what you signed up for, in other words, then those spiritual forces might intervene to try to shake you out of that particular procrastination or mindset and help you steer in a new direction. And just as Scorpio also covers crises, because it covers life, death, transformation, this is accomplished through some kind of crisis or challenge when you are going off track, right? So divine forces are involved in guiding and shaping every person's life, whether you are aware of them or not. And when you are aware of them and open to them, those spiritual forces have a very positive impact. And this is the point. Your intuition is one of the ways that these forces are able to affect you through the subtle realms that Scorpio and all water signs are connected to, right? So developing your intuition, paying attention and actually developing your intuition, practicing that development is vital. Now the practice is the Saturn T-square. Saturn wants you to commit, right? So turning to the subtle realms is an actual attunement. It's just like tuning an instrument in music, tuning your violin, tuning your flute, right? And it can be developed, but you have to choose to cultivate it. And those spiritual forces can also appear to you as an angel, as a light being, as a person who just delivers a message to you. These forces often save people from an experience they're not meant to have. And I'm sure you've been in that situation, as everyone has, where, something was about to happen and you were saved from experiencing that. So keep in mind that anything that has happened needed to happen, or it wouldn't have happened, right? This is the key. This is the trust part. So to show you something, to teach you something about a choice, that needed to happen. So as long as you don't take the outcomes personally as being good or bad, right? You're fine. Because win or lose, it's part of growth. You're supposed to win at times. You're supposed to lose at times. You need to face either winning or losing with the same courage, the same curiosity, and just do your best given the circumstances. And here's the thing, we don't know how things will turn out, and we don't need to pretend to know what the future will bring. All we want to do is keep that positive outlook no matter what. That is the key. So remaining optimistic in the midst of not knowing, that is what gives you the confidence that whatever the outcome is, it is for your highest good and for everyone's highest good. So you'll never be disappointed in life if you live this way. So this is how you live out your destiny with courage and joy and enthusiasm and gratitude. And just as you can't have wins without losses, right? You can't have light without dark. You can't have the night without the day. So you can't have wins without losses. You also can't have gifts without challenges in the same way. So you have a destiny, and that is discovered. Your destiny is discovered by what is happening to you now in this moment. Every choice in every ordinary moment also affects and potentially contributes to your destiny. So the only thing that you can control is the experience you're having by managing your thoughts and managing your attitude. And the rest you surrender. And this is the ultimate message of Scorpio, is surrender to the truth. What you can affect, you do affect. And what you can't, you surrender to Source, to the divine. And the shadow side of Scorpio, briefly look at that, is the need to control. And that will totally fall away when you surrender, because you will allow life to carry you where it will. You will go with the flow of life. And that trust that it is happening perfectly is ultimately there. Life is as it was meant to be. The flow is the water. Scorpio is water. And your only job is to say yes to the flow. That's how you create with life, the river of life. And you're able to create with life because you are attuned to the flow and you know what life wants because of that attunement, that intuition. And you know that life has a plan for you, which you discover by paying attention to what's coming out of the flow now and again, now and now, right? It's always in the present moment. So you know how and when you're fulfilling your destiny by how you feel in your heart. And that will make you naturally happy. So this is the key message for the Scorpio full moon. And discover your own soul code. This is the thing about Scorpio. Scorpio wants the truth. And you have a star code in your birthday, your birth name, and your astrology. And I've created a free masterclass for you at starcodeclass.com, where you can go and discover the truth about who you are at soul level. I highly recommend it, and you'll get to know your friends and family as well. Have an incredible Scorpio full moon, and just enjoy being in the flow and taking care of responsibilities. Lots of love, and I'll see you next week.